Thank you very much. My next question is somewhat specific, but relates to funds that could be available to Rhode Island that we may not completely get for the area of small business. Rhode Island has historically failed to leverage available federal funding, matching funds to support the small business initiatives. And examples of this are the Small Business Development Center, the Center for Women in Enterprise, our Veterans Business Outreach Center. And this has resulted in a nominal amount of state funds made available to accomplish these needs, and a significant loss of available federal funds to accomplish these needs. What can be done to ensure that the state maximizes available matching funds to support small businesses?
Yes, I wrote that question, John, in case you were wondering.
Yes, it was a little awkward for me to say.
You should answer it then.
I wanted to say, put Mark in charge of the loan program for the Commerce Corporation. This is something that we've had a conversation about here. We support the idea of the SBA program matched in. There is a structure within the Commerce Corporation that does this. We don't believe that it uses it as much. I think it's one of the things that Neil just mentioned, the more context issue. And I really am applauding. If you do look at the small business funding, need for capital, etc., we have always felt that we never looked at the small business funding cycle and whether the SBA fits into others as well. If you look at Commerce Corporation's website, which I did last night again, they have small business loan programs, they have a whole sort of concierge services. The question is it effective or not? We don't really know for sure. And I look at folks saying, no, it's not, and we would agree with that. That's a next step. We think Commerce is more of a larger picture company division. They're after the larger, the bigger announcement, as opposed to the smaller companies that Neil mentioned earlier. There's the largest grower of jobs, the most numbers of businesses. And I agree with you, it's a concept that has to be examined. As we look at everything on a job basis, do you create a job? I think it's our philosophy more now is, are you creating economic activity in Rhode Island? And by its very nature, it'll create the types of revenues, types of consequences outside that may then have jobs. We only look at will you create a job or not. We're going to find that the capital-intensive companies will come back in as our cost structure goes up, and we should be looking at that as opposed to just the job creation. But I think, yes, Mark, we agree with you.
Neil?
Yeah, that's fine. Well, Mark has it easy because his funding is going to be fought out in the ring starting next year, and you can go for it right on WrestleMania. So to go along with that too, though, I think we've got to have the guts. I mean, a lot of what we're talking about is stepping up and doing more. We've got to have the guts to figure out what works and what doesn't, and fund what works and don't fund what doesn't work. Just because a program, and I have not a specific one in mind, has been around for 15 years and has been doing such and such. If it is not working, if it is not hitting metrics, if it is not having an impact, take that money and put it over with Polaris. Take that money and put it with CWE. And then go make the story to our delegation that, hey, we know what works. It's worked for 5 years. Here's what it can do if we double it. It's your business plans that you all do. It's a business plan, but we keep spreading it around to a lot of different entities, to a lot of different programs, and we don't call the hard question to very nice people sometimes. It just isn't working. We're going to take our resources and put them over here.
I would think, too, that part of this is communication. I mean, we really need to have small businesses communicate even more with the Commerce Corp, and that's why my third recommendation at the beginning was greater communication through computer surveys or whatever on an ongoing basis, because you also have different needs and problems based on firm size or industry or part of state, whatever, and probably we're doing too general of an approach. We have to really disaggregate and do a greater job like that. But again, a part of this is just communication, and again, no one's going to accuse Rhode Island of being the largest state in the country, but we acted. I mean, why do we do this? You know, why is it such a small state and there's such barriers and we act like we're the size of Texas? I don't understand that. That has to change. And hopefully you'll have the political will and the fortitude to just push it push it with Department of, the Commerce Corporation, and I'm sure they'd be very receptive. Make sure they know what's going on, force them to try and start developing a mechanism to do this, because it's really, really important. But to go back to what was said in the prior question, yes, we have to look at benefits, costs, and benefit costs, that kind of analysis, but not just short-term, longer-term analysis, and that's why we go back to the need for the economic impact by in-house due diligence, not someone in someone's office who, got a piece of paper, did a quick benefit cost analysis. What are the economics of that? What are they assuming? What's the longer term impact? All of this fits together. It's not disjoint. And that's why we need to really be on top of this. Use our state's size. We've got the ability. Let's try and use it.
Thank you very much.